We're gonna do something a little bit different today. I've got my West Coast insider with us today. He's here to join us. We're gonna talk whatever comes to our minds today. We're gonna get into it, see what goes on. We're doing a little bit of what's it called, Jer?
Mukbang.
A mukbang. We're eating and we're talking while we're going. I'm going with the healthy route. Jared,
I'm going with the cancer stick. That's pepperoni right there.
I'm eating these delicious beans. Oh.
I envy you. I can't believe I have to settle for this.
What are you drinking? A 2 liter jug of milk?
I'm on my second glass of milk, and I have a pack of old cheddar. So I like to just bung myself up in my spare time.
So you just got back from work today. Is that right? You just got back?
That's incorrect.
No?
I was at the gym today.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still work.
Yeah.
The gym. So it's not all unhealthy. Getting to the gym, getting a workout in. Hey, there's some personal development topics we can get into right there.
I'm getting my macros in: protein, fat, a lot of fat in this. Protein in my milk and cheese.
That's good. Don't you feel like, how do you work all the time and then still find time to get a workout schedule in?
You know, one of my coworkers just got me on. He started talking about how he was going to the gym. Excuse me. And it's close to my house. And it just got me thinking, like, I was so out of shape. And it felt so crappy. And yeah, I just we had talked about it a lot at work, and I just decided I was going to go check the gym out. And I went there, and I just felt like it's something I wanted to do, and I started going. And once I started going, like, I didn't want to stop. It felt good. I noticed results right away, like immediately upon starting, and it felt good. It felt good to have better. I mean, I also started eating healthier, so that going to the gym wasn't just a waste.
Yeah.
And I started trying to focus on getting more sleep, and I just noticed I started feeling better.
Yeah.
And now it's what I want to do, right? So it's not a chore. At this point, it's not a chore. It's what I want to do with my spare time. I want to go to the gym. It feels good to go. It feels good to see the improvements. And I'm an introvert, so it's kind of like a solitary. I mean, I'm in a place where there's a lot of people, but it's a solitary activity. So I get to just be by myself and work on something that I see progress, and yeah, that's basically.
It's good. It's hard to find. I try to squeeze in a little bit. I feel like there's so many like personal development categories to try and like pick and choose which one you're actually going to do. There was a while, it's probably been about 2 years, where I before I kind of like started getting into like spirituality and other forms of personal development. That was my go-to, was working out. I did find some conflict with the fact that it was weird, like, I'd work all day, and then I would get home, and the very first thing I would do is put on my gym shoes and go to the gym. So
So I have to sacrifice a bit here to maintain the family. I've got 4 kids and a wife. So once they go to bed, and lucky for me, my wife starts work at 4 in the morning, so she has to be in bed between 8 and 8:30. But I go to the gym after 8:30.
Well, okay. Well, that's actually good, but oh my God, that sounds even more exhausting.
It can get tiring if the work days get long, right? If I work a 9-hour day, it's manageable. I come home, have a 20-minute, half-hour snooze on the couch, then spend time with the family until help get the kids to bed. It works out okay. I get 6 hours. I'll get 6 hours of sleep on Monday and Tuesday, and then I won't go to the gym on Wednesday. Get 6 hours on Thursday. Usually won't go to the gym on Fridays, and then I work out hard on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Barney Eaglewood / Justin has chimed in on the chat line. He says,
I hate that guy.
He says,
Barney Eaglewood can go to hell.
He said, I'm gonna ban you, Barney Eaglewood. He says, do you guys have a fans only channel, or does Jared?
I think that's the direction we should head in.
Oh God, that's where all the money's at.
I think we need to go shirtless as well. Mukbang and shirtless.
Gross. Hairy dudes eating food.
I want crumbs in my chest hair. That's what I want. And I want to see it
milk dripping down.
Well, by the way, Barney Eaglewood, we love you. We miss you. We wish you were joining this chat. Feel free to.
Yeah, I sent you, Justin. I sent you a Google thing to come in, or a Gmail or whatever if you wanted to jump in. But yeah. Barney Eagle says, "I'm asking for a friend." Oh.
We all know what that means. We all know what that means.
Yeah. Justin says it's pronounced mukbang.
All right. Well, I'm in my mid-40s. How can I know the proper pronunciation of things?
Mukbang. It's all the same thing.
Yeah. Thank you for the correction, the wisdom, and the insight.
Yeah. I try to squeeze in a little bit of physical work these days, but it's tough. You can see me literally sinking in the chair. That's it. I'm like, it's so ridiculous.
I think we need to up the professionalism of this game. It's okay. I've got a back support pillow.
Oh God. Once we get once I get out of here and I have a new studio to work on, I will set it up. I'll make it all look nice. I'm gonna get a new mic, new camera, new everything. So yeah, send in those donations. Those donations. To the human fund.
Yeah, this is the only angle that doesn't show dirty laundry. It's the only place where there aren't millions of kids running around and dogs and other distractions.
Yeah. On the other side of that door is
on the other side of that door is real life. This is.
But what are you gonna do?
This is how I stay spiritual.
Oh, jeez. I think that's clogging up your third chakra. So we're gonna have to do an exorcism on your solar plexus chakra to get that to go through. But
let's wash it down with some milk.
Oh, he is. He's coming.
Oh,
he's arrived.
He's arrived.
You've got an echo. You've got an echo in your. You're quiet.
There we go.
So, what do you got to say? What's going on?
Nothing.
Welcome.
Hey, I was
Welcome to the mukbang, whatever it is.
I'm missing out. I should be eating too.
We're doing.
Not blowing it up. I'm gonna go get some food.
He just got on. See, Justin has a way better background than the rest of us.
Yeah, that looks sophisticated. It looks like there's books. It looks like there's
nice and tidy.
Furniture that isn't from IKEA.
Oh my gosh, I'm jealous.
I'm been put to shame.
Yeah. Justin, you win.
I respect that. I am envious as well.
Yeah. Just close your mouth.
Just make sure there's some in your beard, because that's what's gonna sell it.
Yeah. That's gonna get us more clicks.
Well, I'm so mukbang good already.
So we might do some. We're live on Twitch, so if anyone chimes in, I went through the tarot reading section, so we're gonna do some speed readings today. 1 card readings for anyone who wants one who's out there.
Hey, I
watching.
want a reading.
You want to?
Okay. First, I want a reading.
Yeah, you want a speed reading for Jer. Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle. I'm only shuffling this deck once. No one gets a duplicate card the entire time. So.
Oh man, I'm not centered at all.
We'll see where this goes.
There we go.
Okay. We'll call this the round table event. This is we're doing a round table today. All right. So today's card for Jer. All right.
You're really selling the spirituality on that. It's just like, I'm a whole read. Wind blows through me.
All right, Jer. Let's hope you don't get the devil card. No.
I know where you live. If I do, I'm coming for you.
All right, Jer. You pulled the lover's card.
The lover's card.
The lover's
Tell
card.
me more.
Let's see if we can fix in. Okay, so what we're getting? This is about focusing on your relationship, focusing on your relationships, and your love. Maybe this is speaks towards you and your family, and putting some attention on that right now in your life. I know cuts deep.
Okay. It's gonna have to cut this short then.
Because this is tearing me away. I'm guilting you right now.
I'm gonna have to sign off now because you just told me that I need to focus on family more than you.
So in the short term, upcoming weeks, be mindful of family and where that's going, where that's taking you. So, what about you, Justin? You in or not? You in or? We'll do one for Justin here.
Sure,
Okay.
I get to predict what it will be.
Okay, all right, sure. Let's do that then. Okay, so for Justin, the 3 of Wands.
You didn't let me predict.
The 3 of
You
Wands.
gotta read you, James. You said he wants to predict. He wants to predict what card you're gonna pull.
Oh, I did. There's a million cards. I thought he said he wanted to do the reading on his own card.
I thought I heard him whisper under his breath that you were gonna pull that card too. So
Yeah.
I know, redo.
I can't redo. It's been pulled. This is the card.
All right, give it to me then.
Okay.
Tarot reading.
3 of Wands is about being fixated on other events in other people's lives and losing focus kind of your own journey and kind of putting your attention back on what's most important to you in your life and your goals and your things. It's a card just to kind of get your attention back on the things that you hold most dear and what you want.
Let's go deep. What do you hold most dear, Justin? Barney Eagle, if you will.
Food.
Food holds
I respect
food
that.
dearly.
I respect that. I need more cheese.
That's a deep
I don't-
question.
I actually don't feel that card was super. I mean, is it work retrospectively? Is that what I'm already doing, or is that trying to say what I should do?
Are you talking about the card that I just gave?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of pointing to, in terms of tarot, it's usually about directing what's kind of going on now in your life and bringing.
Well, that's kind of accurate then. You know, maybe less of a focus on what other people have been doing and more. I can see how that maybe is something.
Yeah. Usually, sometimes
I can see maybe somewhere, somehow.
I think
Well,
Like apply.
everyone, these cards are so like they overspec everything.
Here's the thing: is it fair to say this, James?
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm yelling, by the way, because you guys are a little bit quiet.
Well,
Is it fair to say
Yep.
that tarot works better the more you believe it?
Yeah, I would say there's definitely some truth towards that. There's kind of like I always tell people to take it with a grain of salt. If you find something that is said from the person who's doing the reading that resonates with you, then if it resonates with you, it probably is speaking to something inside of you that's saying, do I agree with that or not? And if I do agree with it, is that something I should pursue and maybe, push into and see if there's, any benefits of heeding the reading or, going out. But these are like super, I think everyone at some time in their life goes through a point. You'll notice the guys looking off into the distance at the boats. And a lot of people say that this card has to do with like looking at what others have and what they've achieved. And he's holding on to 3 staffs and he's not quite sure what, he's got a couple of choice. Staffs, for me anyway, they symbolize like your path and your journey and where you're going in life. And he's looking out at others, in
Those
their
look like
journey.
mountains in the background to me.
What's that?
Those look like mountains.
No, it's hard to see on this camera. See the little boat? It's hard because the camera's so shitty. There's little boats, and that's the water there. And
Right.
he's looking off into the distance, kind of at like what other people have, what other people are doing, and he's spending so much time dwelling on what others have and what they've achieved that he is missing his ability to do, his own journey and do his own thing. So
stop looking at other people's boats, Justin.
Yeah. Is that what the card's saying? I thought they were just boats. Why can't he be admiring the boats?
Why can't he be on 3 paths at once?
again, the cards, they don't have one meaning. They mean to you whatever the reader's doing. They put their kind of interpretation on the cards. Like my interpretations aren't the same as like the standard version.
What do we got there?
We're looking at the
I'm
top.
getting getting real close.
Ugh.
I'm doing a quick reading on James here.
Uh-oh. What card did you pull?
Sorrow.
Sorrow?
You're
The man of many sorrows.
What's happening is the sword of delusion is really stabbing into, see the massive cluster at the top? That's ego. And it's really just messing. It's not good news.
I'm questioning already why I came on this live stream. I feel like it's doomed.
We're all sadder now.
I don't know. I kind of felt that and believe the reading Justin just gave. Maybe I should.
That was for me, not you.
Yeah, but I felt it. Doesn't matter.
I'm dying a little inside. So we were talking. I didn't want to get too much into it yesterday because I wanted to save a little bit of this conversation for today because I'm sure this channel we focus a lot on like I would say your average day Joe. So this working like so much, like obviously you have a hard schedule and it's not just something you do, it's something a lot of us do, most of us, I do it a lot. We grind so hard. And it's difficult to manage anything. And you watch all these gurus and spiritual people out there talking about all these things they should be doing. And a lot of people are saying like, how the hell am I ever going to find time to do any of that shit? When my life, I have to work, I got to pay the bills. And this has been amplified with everything that's going on in the world these days. People don't even know if they're going to have a job the next day in some circumstances, based upon some choices that they may have to make. But I don't know. What do you guys feel about all that?
Well, if they
What do I feel about working a lot?
Well, just the fact it sucks that it feels like this. You have to work so hard. It's so hard to get ahead, build yourself up in any facet at all.
I'd forego all the personal satisfaction of accomplishment for a lottery winning.
Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah.
Sweet
I'm
lottery.
I understand the wisdom and like I understand something like winning the lottery is not necessarily what you want. It might be what like a lower aspect of yourself wants. Like there's something pretty desperate in you if you're fantasizing about winning the lottery or something. But I don't care. I
Get home.
I don't care. I would still totally take it. Like I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Just slap a label on my forehead that says desperate. I'm
I can't read it, but that's what my hat says.
I'm just waiting for those numbers to come in. 50 million, right? That's what.
I don't even know what I would do if I got that, but it's nice to dream, I guess.
You'd stop live streaming on Twitch. Let me tell you this.
Maybe. I don't know. This is what I do with my free time, right? So I don't know if that would be what I would do.
What's more desperate?
I think that there's nothing wrong if you get fulfillment out of it. Like your tarot channel that you do, I see a lot of good come out of that. I've tuned in a couple of times, and the people on there seem to really get something out of the readings that you do. I mean, what more needs to be said? That's good. And if you would do that, whether you were rich or you were poor, then who's going to argue with you? Like, that's what you like to do, right?
I feel like this is trying to explain away my joking poor taste. I feel bad now. Hey, I'm on the live stream. I'm here too.
Yeah, I know. I swear. I think all the top Twitch people are just girls with giant boobs sitting in hot tubs. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
It's like if you were willing to sell your body, just go on. If you had big boobs, just go on Twitch. You could probably make a killing.
I don't know. I think beards is where it's at.
Oh yeah. That's the new thing.
Beards, and an indulgement in cheese and pepperoni sticks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what everyone's That's what everyone's looking for right now.
Yeah, everybody wants to just kick back, chat with fine company like yourselves.
How is the chat stream going?
Actually, it's dead. Dead as a doornail.
That means 0 viewers.
Which is weird, unless I could have swore I put it. I gotta check. I gotta check something here.
What James is saying, Justin, is we're killing his viewership. That's really weird. Normally people are like,
the especially right now.
I'm not into passive aggressive terrorism.
And I'm actually looking at the tarot section right now. It is all girls. Like it's like 3 dudes next to like all chicks. So
showing a lot of cleavage.
yeah.
So
no, I don't know about that. But
so shirts off, boys. We gotta compete.
Here we go.
That'll drive the numbers down. Well, there's a market for everything, I guess.
There's a market for eating, having crumbs in a hairy chest hair, doing speed tarot reads.
You get 1 card.
If you, like Dad always used to say, if you think it's cool, you're not that unique. There's got to be a million other people out there that think, I get this. I get what they're selling.
All right, what's that?
Do me.
That's
I
like
honestly don't know how to do it.
I'm intrigued. I want to get myself a deck of tarot cards.
buy a book. There's called the Radiant Rider Waite tarot deck book. It just tells you all the meanings. You don't even have to buy the book. The meanings are online. But you
I need the cards.
Yeah, buy a deck. It's literally $20 for a deck.
Without the props, it's nothing. I can't say, oh, let me. What do we got there?
The devil card.
I was just gonna say that looks like Satan.
Yeah, that's one of the cards.
I don't know. Justin bought 2 really dark decks.
I didn't buy them. They were bought for me.
Oh, okay.
And things like that.
Okay, sorry.
How did you guys get into the tarot world?
I don't know. Justin was generous enough to get me one for my birthday, and I just went from there.
And now look at you. You're like a Twitch guru.
The Twitch guru. I don't think so. I am like the most unconventional of the if you go to any other people, they have like a witch mat. They got like trinkets and all stuff. I got nothing. I got a beard and some paintings in the background.
This I'm gonna have to be interrupted. I can see somebody just walk. My dog is barking in the background. Can you hear
It's
that?
okay, I can hear him. That's Ender.
Yeah, somebody's at the door. I just gotta go answer it. I'll be back.
Okay, you go get it. Me and Justin will chat.
So how was your Reiki thing?
We missed it this week. We're gonna do it. It's been rescheduled for this Wednesday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So for everyone out there, I'm planning to do my first Reiki session. So now that's out there. Which would be interesting. I talked to Lacey a little bit about it. It's just some energy reading. I was just saying to Justin that I'm supposed to be doing my first Reiki session this Wednesday.
Your what?
My first Reiki session.
What's a Reiki
It's
session?
an energy reading.
Energy reading.
Yeah. So I go to some person's house, they put me on their table, and then they put like bowls and stones on you, and they do all types of stuff and put their, so they don't touch you apparently, they just put their hands over you.
Well, that's no fun.
There's no happy ending, Jer. So
It almost sounds like that would have been the whole part. You got to pay up for that portion of the.
yeah, there's a cost. But it should be interesting. Jesse, I think, is going to come. Jesse's going to come too, I think, and so we're going to check that out. To our solo viewer who has joined, welcome. Don't be shy. You can say hi and chime in if you want.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, I'm already even with Dell.
Hyper aggressive.
Say something. Be a man.
What if it's a female viewer?
More than likely.
What if it's neither?
Yeah, an alien.
I don't know what to do with that.
Way to not be good at improv.
There we go. Oracle Day. Oh no, it's Oracle Druid. Hi guys. I never have seen 3 bearded guys reading cards, but I'm also a bearded card reader too, but Austrian, so German native speaker. I am at my phone, so things knees a little. What's that mean?
What's his name? Oracle Dave?
It's Oracle Druid. Hi, Oracle Druid.
Alias.
Welcome. We're doing a roundtable today, so I'm doing speed readings. If you'd like a speed read, I'm doing 1 card. You get 1 card today. We can go off of that. If you're interested, say yes.
So I've got an idea how you could up your viewership.
Get better at what I do.
But before I was so rudely interrupted by my dog
Yeah.
and people coming to the door, you were discussing how others have like mats and like a whole atmosphere around them for the reading. Maybe if you upped your game and didn't try to cheap out on this and go the speed reading route. You got 1 card. You got 1.
I normally do. I'm only doing that for this.
You got 1 card, and my chair is sinking.
I normally do like 7 cards, a whole thing, but it's that tonight's We're just having fun.
Hey, check out my name. Check out how I changed my name.
Justin, the one and only Oracle.
Oracle.
I need an alias. James? You're the guru. This is your channel.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta change
You don't
it.
even have an alias. Your callers have aliases. Call, I guess, chat or whatever. The guys tuning in.
Jeez. So Oracle Druid's saying, which system do I use and which deck and which tradition? Well, probably I'm using the Rider-Waite deck, and I don't have a tradition. I am self-taught. My tradition is my own.
Hey, all traditions start somewhere.
All traditions start somewhere.
I use Pokemon cards.
The tradition is the Bearded Clan.
Yeah, the
Well, isn't that kind
Beardo
of-
brothers.
To be honest, isn't it kind of maybe Oracle Druid can chime in on this? Maybe he knows a little bit about it, but isn't that kind of like a little bit chaos magic-ish? Like, doesn't it fall into that vein of spirituality, like chaos magic, where you can kind of use anything you want, and you can kind of create your own methods? You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little confused about that, but.
I like where you're going though.
I feel like you've probably studied more of that chaos magic than any one of us here. I've been trying to get into like learning about more traditional magic aspects, but a lot of it is kind of tight-lipped. I find a lot of people in the magic traditional community are kind of like quiet. You got to build a relationship with these people to tie and start to extract kind of beliefs out of them. What they
There's many different ways to engage in delusion. There's many. I mean, the sky's the limit.
I agree. You just need to speak with more confidence, and people will think you're the guy with all the answers, and then you blow them off.
We're a rogue, for God's sake. Have a pointy hat. Have a name.
Have a stash.
roll the stash up.
Roll the stash up. Get a top hat, a cape.
Oracle Dave says, ha ha ha, oh my god, guys, you're too funny. Our channel is really
I'm
fun.
taking over this thing. I don't believe in James' guru leadership.
Looks like we got...
Dusty Sunday.
Sounds good. The Bearded Brothers, Chaos Magic, also... Oracle Dave says Chaos Magic is also a good thing. All right, Dave, guys, or not Dave, Druid. I'm gonna give you a 1-card reading since you've chimed in so much. I'm gonna read it out for Dave. Okay, so Dave, your card for tonight is the King of Wands. That's a good card. Someone who
I feel like I wanted the King of Wands when you did my reading.
Sorry, you got the turd ball card. No, so Oracle Dave. Or Oracle, I keep calling him Oracle Dave. You're
gonna lose your one viewer.
You're
Druid. It's not Oracle.
You are confident in your journey. You're secure in what you're doing. You know where you're going. So keep it up. Keep
Tony Robbins.
Keep up your focus, Druid. So keep going. You're doing good. All right, next. No.
I'm in there too. There's not enough applause in the tarot reading community.
That was moving. Wow,
okay. So Oracle Druid. Oracle Druid says, I have been raised also in magic traditions. I have been raised in Slavic pagan traditions. By the way, my name is Roland. All right, Roland, that's good. Haha, King of Wands D, gonna like it. He's way behind. His texting is like he's 10 years behind my reading stuff. So he's like, oh, the King of Wands. He just wrote that, and that was like 10 minutes ago.
Where did he say he was from? Where did he say he was from?
Where did he say? Austrian. Wait,
it's still amazing to me that we can do this and somebody's watching.
Yeah, it's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. if we stay on long enough, we're a unique channel right now. No one else is doing what we're doing.
Yeah, no one else is doing one-off tarot card readings. Nobody has Cowboy Sundance taking over the...
I'm going to rename that. I got to rename myself.
Cowboy Sundance. You look like a trucker right now with the hat.
Yeah, you look like a trucker.
You need a flannel jacket.
You need to corner the trucker tarot reading market.
Trucker tarot reading. It's like blasphemy. This is like the most blasphemy. I'm sure there's like other people watching us casting spells on us right now as we speak. Like
These guys are an abomination to the community. How did they end up in the spiritual tarot reading?
Smite thee down.
I'm gonna have to up my game. I admittedly feel ill prepared without a tarot deck.
I'm out of practice of even thinking about these things, to be honest. I mean, this is James' show. If somebody wants a tarot reading, he's the one that should be doing it, obviously. I don't know how you even practice. I don't know how you got to the point where you can do it. Like,
It wasn't.
Self-taught. What does that even mean?
You what?
It
What'd you say,
self-taught
Justin?
is code for bullshit.
No, because you wouldn't say that somebody that's a self-taught musician is bullshit. So
That's true. It sounded funnier in my head. Once again, I feel bad that we're explaining away my poor humor. Jeez, that was harsh, Jared. James, no, it's not bullshit.
I didn't say it wasn't bullshit. I mean, it could be.
It is bullshit.
That's all I said. It's kind of what I feel. I'm just saying you wouldn't call a self-taught musician bullshit. So what you're saying is there's no respect in the tarot reading community for self-taught tarot readers.
No, I don't think so. I think everyone on some level is self-taught. I think a lot of people they might learn by watching others do it. I don't know if there's like a class you take where it's like, this is how you read cards. I don't know if that exists. Oracle Druid says, spiritual things, in my opinion, should always be a mix-up between weirdness and a sort of real crazy stuff and fun. Well, you're in the right place then.
Agreed. That sounds like our audience right there.
Yeah. We're making a whole new audience.
I was trying to interrupt there. What's your opinion on people that look the part? Like you were saying, like I look like a trucker. But what about people that go out of their way to wear, like, almost like a costume? You know what I mean? Like the Pope's got like a costume.
In tarot reading? For tarot reading?
For spiritual stuff. Like
they get all the views. The people with the most kick-ass setups, they have all the views.
So, yeah, like, if you think about, like, Osho or Sadhguru, or, sometimes it's just traditional garb, but sometimes it looks like there's quite a bit of, like, theatrics and stuff put into it, and that's hard for me to get past thinking is, like, fish hooking for, low, like, people that otherwise would be swayed by that. He's dressed like a lizard. He's got a bead one, you know what I mean? He's got a staff and a crazy twiddly beard, and
Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not that they're drawn. Maybe it's that they can appreciate. It's a signal that effort's going in.
But it's a fine line between somebody that successfully pulls that off and somebody that's extremely cringy. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Hey, I'm drawn to the authenticity of what's going on here. Personally, I'd be far more skeptical of the guy in the top hat, the cape, pentagrams on the floor, and cool aliens.
I've dressed up for these videos before, and I had somebody like be pretty serious with me and be like, "I don't like what I'm seeing, man." Like,
I love it personally.
They thought I was serious. They thought when I came on with the makeup and I was like, sitting like this and all weird and mystical. they didn't know I was playing a joke.
I like it when you dress up and do your characters because it's obvious. To me, it's obviously funny. It's
satire, but even as a joke, somebody I was talking to thought I was serious and was like bothered by it. Like, what's happening to you? You know what I mean?
You can't please everybody, though.
Yeah.
But you could do. There'll be some people, which is a miracle. Some people will look at this and go, "I love this."
Yeah.
Drew and Dave, I hope that's one.
He says.
It's not Dave.
His name's Roland. He says. Roland says if
Roland.
He says if it's bullshit.
That's how you lose viewers. You
can't read those. He says if it's bullshit, I am asking myself why I have done a grade in occult history. I don't. What's he saying there?
You studied it?
I'm guessing that he says
I don't think
it's bullshit. I think. Sorry, go on, Justin.
No, I was just agreeing. I was saying nobody's saying it's bullshit, but I think that when a topic is sensitive to the possibility that it might be bullshit, that's fascinating to me. Like when something like the truth probably doesn't need to be defensive about itself. I'm not saying that it's bullshit. I've got 2 tarot decks here. I bought James a tarot deck. I've tried out some different spiritual stuff. I grew up a Christian. I'm not saying any of these things are bullshit, but I'm saying it has to be, there's something, it could be. I mean, why can't you say it might be? You know what I mean? Like, is it possible to scrutinize or think about these things and question them? You know what I mean? Any practice.
Yeah.
Science.
Well, the more you say, the more you're not going to question something, the more you're going to be like, well, that's, holy ground. You can't question that. The more I am inclined to be like, it's probably bullshit then. I like the fact that you should be able to test things and question them and see, how far you can go. That's like.
But isn't the genius? Doesn't the genius of all this somewhere lie in how concealed the truth is? That people will just, obviously, spirituality, whether in the form of religion or pagan practices, has been going on for the entirety of human history.
Yeah.
But there'll always be people that will call everybody a charlatan that believes any of it.
Yeah.
But isn't the genius in the lasting power and that it can affect the imagination, the practical aspects of your life? I mean, maybe we don't understand everything, but to just throw it out as bullshit seems ridiculous, giving it staying power.
Well, you guys have probably seen that guy. He's pretty famous on YouTube, the ultra spiritual guy. Have you seen him?
No.
Is that his name?
No, that's a character he plays. His name's J.P. Sears.
Oh, yeah, J.P. Yeah, okay, yeah. I love J.P. Sears.
He does a character that's like kind of a bullshitty spiritual type guy. But if you look at his channel, he's actually got a ton of he's a life coach. And I think he does practice meditation.
I thought he was a comedian.
Well, he is, but he's also like a life coach and an inspirational type speaker. And he's fascinating because he takes both sides of arguments. He'll be on the side of, he'll paint a picture of somebody that you could imagine is kind of like, somebody pretending, somebody with a facade of spirituality that's pretty shallow and you can kind of see through the veneer a little bit. He'll play that character up so it's funny and people kind of know what they're looking at. I mean, some people get offended by that. He did a whole episode, joking episode on essential oils, and he was like, essential oils they're great for everything. They're good for addiction. Like, for instance, I was addicted to essential oils, and so I got this essential oil that helped me get addicted to essential oils. But he had, I get the sense that he probably uses essential oils. You know what I mean? Like, it's pushing the then maybe don't be so sensitive, but realize, have enough humor in you to see that, I look like a biker or a trucker, like you guys were saying. Like, I don't look good. You know what I mean? I'm going to pretend that it's, you shouldn't.
The magic is flowing through your veins.
Yeah, I can feel
You
it.
look like a trucker, but Matt,
It's all
you are in tune with the universe.
I'm losing my chrysalid.
Don't judge a book by its cover. That's
So
age
greasy.
old wisdom. That is greasy, I'm not gonna lie.
That's that. Anyway, I ranted for a while. There's somebody else ranting now.
Spirituality is for truckers as well.
Yeah. Point made.
Hashtag.
Hashtag spiritual truckers.
Hashtag no grease.
Okay, so Oracle Druid wrote a giant thing
My
here.
hair's soaked in essential oil.
So Justin, I'm gonna read what Oracle Druid said. He says, depends on which kind of magic theory we look at. Basically, we are living in a physical world with physical laws, but we are not only physical beings, because if we would be just physical, our minds would be bound on physical laws. And as far as I know, there is no evidence for measurable facts of minds, besides electrochemical effects. So science really doesn't know why we are constantly producing minds and why we are projecting them in our reality. Is he alluding to consciousness there? Is that what's going on? Yeah, he's the measurable mind of where, consciousness. Well, geez, this is the conversation all these spiritual gurus take this stuff, is that it always goes into the realm of consciousness. Seems to be, a lot of them would say that consciousness is like the foundation of reality. It's not the physical material world, but that we are potentially being imagined as, I guess. This is the imagination of consciousness. Even the physical world that we feel is just an illusion of consciousness. I don't know if that's what he's getting at, but
I think if it was definitive, this question would have been put to rest long ago.
yeah.
But it comes down to the big philosophical question: why is there something other than nothing is enough to believe in magic already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be anything.
Well,
And if something has always been, then it takes on the properties of what we call the divine.
yep.
So there's something magical that magical forces. However, I mean, you can talk about them in religious terms, magical terms, philosophical terms, physical terms, but there's something magical to existence that sets this all in motion, keeps it in motion.
By nature of it existing at all, it's mystical.
Yeah.
By the fact that reality happens and at all makes it mystical, in my opinion. But I mean, it kind of boils down to it's funny because everybody, there'll be a person who's a Christian their whole life, and then they'll be they believe that Jesus saved them, and then they'll go around and they'll talk about they're going to heaven when they die and everything like that, and then something happens and they lose their faith, and then maybe they become atheists, but then they adopt a spiritual thing and they're like, oh, I'm not Christian anymore. I've learned that, I no longer have the delusion of needing to be saved. I'm now enlightened. You know what I mean? And, it's, we all return to the oneness when we die. It's like you exchanged one dogmatism for another. Sometimes I get the sense that the Christian can't look at the pagan and judge them, and the pagan maybe shouldn't look at the Christian. Not that saying that every Christian looks at a pagan and judges them, or every pagan looks at a Christian, or every Muslim, whatever, no matter what your religion is. But it seems silly to me to look at somebody with a different spiritual belief and discount it as wrong because it's not theirs. Wouldn't it make more sense that if one thing's real, it's all real? But maybe that's a limiting belief, is to have the limiting thought that, well, if one thing's real, then everything's got to be real. I mean, if energy and chakras and circles going up and down your spine and your crown chakra is real, well, then Jesus is real and all the angels and everything is real. Maybe that's crazy too. Maybe there is one thing. But there's a lot of maybes in there. And I think that the whole point of getting together in these type of conversations is to kind of try to just at least talk about it and share ideas with that, you know?
Okay, so I've always wondered if all religions and all spiritual practices they're sidestepping the real question as to what kind of power is there in belief and shaping beliefs of others. I mean, isn't that kind of what certain leaders or gurus do, is they kind of shape the beliefs? But there's power in adopting beliefs and hanging everything you are on those beliefs, and that's what moves mountains. And to borrow from the Christian tradition, to me it seems like the reason you would even have to say, hey, I don't think the Christian should judge the pagan, and the pagan shouldn't judge the Christian, or, you know, if one thing's true, it's all true. Isn't it all? I guess my question would be, is it possible that all these things are trying to figure out the power of belief? And just anecdotally in my life, there's been instances, whether it's at work, where things should not have been possible to get done. They got done because, and in this, it's a sense of belief that you're going to achieve it. You have to achieve it. And somehow you tap into this where, you know, you just almost bend time to your will, that you can make something happen. And it doesn't have to be that. There's plenty of accounts of people being healed from diseases.
Yep.
Don't necessarily have to. Some people believed in God. Some people believed just that they would get healed.
Yep.
And I mean, it doesn't happen for everybody. You don't know why that is, but the basic question is all playing with the notion of belief. I'll throw that out there.
Well, that's a massive component of it, is the notion of belief and power. That's one element, but that's a very ego kind of centric aspect to the whole thing. That's like how the ego wants to get a hold of it. Where does the power lie? You know, there's a thing that I don't know if I've told this before, but I've definitely said it to James before, and I'll quickly summarize it. It's like an old proverb of a guy who his horses get out of the stable, and then the townspeople come and they're like, you know, oh, what a shame, you know, that's so horrible. Your horses all got out. And he goes, yeah, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. And then, you know, they leave, the townspeople leave, and they go, what a crazy person, and clearly it's bad. And then the next day, the son goes out looking for the horses and, you know, brings home a stallion, you know, something better. And the town people go, oh, are you blessed? You know, and the guy goes, yeah, maybe not, you know. And then the son is trying to tame the wild stallion, and the stallion breaks his leg. And the people come back again, oh, what terrible news. It ends with the army coming to conscript the soldier because there's a big war breaks out in the land, and they're trying to recruit the soldier. They say he can't go, his leg's broken. Townspeople come at the end and they say, how lucky for you, you know, he doesn't have to go, he's not going to die in war. And the guy says, yeah, maybe not. Even stories of miracles. There are stories that start off where, you know, God did this wonderful thing to me, I was crying in gratitude. Look at that guy 2 months from then. That same blessing that he got can turn into a curse. That's how the ego manipulates God energy, if that's a thing. There seems to be another side of things, which is the demand for relief of the back and forth nature of things. You know, you get hungry, so you eat, and then you gorge yourself, and now you're tired, so you gotta go have a nap. And nothing's better after a meal than a cigarette. Now your breath stinks. That everything is a chasing after a subsequent thing, you know? A lot of things couched in religion, too, is the idea of something like salvation. You know, once I became saved, I didn't have to deal with Satan's nonsense anymore, and I can just trust God blindly. You know, or once I got enlightened, I was, you should want to be like me. And let me tell you, because now that I'm enlightened, I'm one with the universe and I accept all things. There's also this thing of relinquishing power. There is the idea of how you can, where power is found, especially in relation to the greater, the God, and then there's also this notion of the desire for relief from reality itself, because it is super polarized. Everything suggests the opposite, every action, everything that happens in your life suggests, it's why the statement, the grass is always greener, exists.
So I'll just chime in and say, it sounds like what you're saying is that like a lot of people are just, they want to nail things down to the ground, and that maybe the answer is that you can't nail anything down, which sounds terrifying to people. But Oracle Druid, or Roland here, he pipes in and he says, religious discussion. I love them. Roots of monotheistic and Abrahamic religions has been pagan too in the past. Christianity, Jews, and also Muslims has their roots in a proto-Jewish culture called Essener. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They have written the Gwar Ram rolls written on goat's leather. Today, thanks to science, we are able to read those scrolls, and we are able to reproduce the history and development of those religions. I don't know anything about that. The Essener, the scrolls, I've never even heard of that before. Something maybe to write down and think about studying later or looking up. It is kind of quiet tonight. Drew, yeah, he's still here. He says, he said, by the way, there are some interesting articles which are trying to be analyzed. Thaumaturgic phenomena. They are exploring God and its power, Higgs particle, Oracle. Dave says that again, I keep saying that. If you want to read really good stuff, I would like to recommend the Bibliotheca Philosophica Hermetica. It's a library full of really old occult books, 9th century till today. I think about 28,000 books, and free for everyone. Oh, my smartphone is automatically autocorrect my sentences. I'm German grammar. Damn, everything I write sounds weird and wrong.
Write that Bibliotheca thing down.
Bibliotheca Philosophica Hermetica.
Yeah, I want to know. I'd have to leave my post to go get a pen, and
Thanks for sharing that stuff.
Yes.
This guy sounds like somebody we need to know.
Yeah, he says, by the way, I am a card collector, have 92 decks, but not only Rider-Waite.
So even the viewers are trying harder than you.
Hey man, I'm just working on learning one deck.
Oracle, do speed readings for us.
Make up a Twitch channel really quick. Get us on. So I gotta write that down. The Bibliotheque.
Can you see how many viewers you've got?
Yeah, just him.
Oh.
It's really, believe it or not, right? Like Saturday, it's funny. Saturdays are like the slowest tarot reading day of the year. Or of the.
Oh, that's why you wanted to do it on Sunday?
No, I just, but every now and then I get surprised. I've had days where it's cramped. There's 300 people online, like in the tarot section, and no one comes on. And then I have days where there's 20 people on and I get 10 people on. So it all depends on what people are feeling or jiving.
People aren't looking for wisdom on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
They're looking to make the mistakes.
That's true.
And we can provide them with neither.
Biblio. So you getting the Bibliotheca?
Yeah, no, I'm interested in that. I want you to.
Philosophica?
I'm too lazy to do the writing down
sounds
myself, so you need to do it and send it to me.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'd have to leave to go get a pen.
It's okay. It's not, you got it. Hermetica. Okay, I got it.
The viewership is directing our path. It won't be tarot readings. We're going to be occult leaders.
Get into the occult. Well, he's saying 9th century. I have heard like many different things on when the occult even started. Like, I don't even know what the hell to believe with the occult. Like, I thought it started in the late 1900s for some reason, but but then he says 9th century. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it
Stop
started.
trying to sell green beans.
Maybe it started when they were doing, when they started burning witches, so-called witches. We have another viewer. Welcome. Hello.
Oh, hey.
Welcome to the channel.
Hey, applause. Can we get an applause
For the other viewer, yes. 3.
Got a new one. Speak up.
You can chime in. We're just chatting.
Speak up.
I can also give you a reading if you want. This will be the strangest tarot reading you've ever had. It's a speed reading. We're getting it.
It's a niche market. And James is the salesperson. Come on down, one free reading. Get your free reading.
No. And they're gone.
Super freaked out.
We scared them. I told you, it was too much aggression.
You just gotta sift through the viewership and you'll find your audience.
There's no way that we're not clapping every time somebody joins.
Yeah!
That's our thing.
It's way too...
It's not my show. I'm just here to help along.
You would laugh because, if in the tarot section, if you go through it and, click through a couple of channels, there is definitely, a gentle, peaceful, there's a very strong, feminine, compassionate vibe, and we are not that.
So you need to bring the toxic masculinity vibe.
Yeah.
You need to bring the, give it to me, give me a reading.
Yeah.
Throw the card at the camera. Every time the card is the devil.
Every time. You only get the devil card. You need to get your life in order.
We were just discussing in your absence, Justin, that James was saying that if you look on the tarot reading community, it's got a very feminine energy, very soft, compassionate. And props to that. That's not a criticism. I was just saying to James that he needs to bring toxic masculinity into the community. And
that's what's new. That's what I have to offer.
It's an interesting observation. I mean, not everybody has to agree, but I feel like one thing I've noticed is, okay, for the tarot community, you're working with intuition, right?
Yeah.
Which is almost like a right brain sort of feminine type concept, in my opinion. To me, there are masculine type of ways of approaching religion, but they almost become like structures. They become hierarchical. They become logic-based, and something like tarot, or like if there is a specific community for that, whatever, paganism maybe, I don't know, or spirituality itself, like Eastern mysticism when it comes to kind of relinquishing control and allowing yourself to be guided by intuition or the universe. Of course, there are feminine connotations to that. Now, somebody out there might be tearing their eyeballs out saying, that's just a societal construct, and there's no such thing as gender at all anyway. Whatever, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you guys were talking about the feminine nature of things, you do get people, like, you'll see spiritual type people, and it's almost like a competition for who can talk the softest, who can actually be the gentlest, and it almost, you know what I mean? Like, James, you know what I'm talking about at all?
Yes. But just to hold that note, we have someone else who just entered the room.
Woo!
Don't be shy. Oh, we just had another person enter the room. We're up to 4. All right, guys. Hey, welcome. Welcome to the channel.
If this is the first night, you have to say something.
Don't be afraid. Chime in. We're doing speed readings tonight, so I will dole out a reading for you tonight if you'd like. Say hi.
Don't give them an ultimatum. If this is your first time, you have to get a reading.
It's not Fight Club. If it's your first time in tarot reading, you have to.
You've got to stop explaining away the jokes. We got to stop it. We just got to roll with it.
Oh, God. So, yes, welcome all.
We're done.
So, yeah, so back to what you were talking about, about like, you think that, like, some people kind of are faking that feminine energy just to...
Yes, of course I think some people are faking it.
To bring it in, to sell something.
The only thing I'm sure of is that some people are faking it. I'm not sure that there's anybody who, would be one way and then have some kind of transformation. And all of a sudden their voice goes up several octaves. And they're very gentle. I have a hard time, I don't understand what that is. I've even worked it. I've even been pretentious and been like, where I could see that my character was almost it was not quite genuine. You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing a lot of meditating, and you know what? I'm trying to get in touch with being a little bit less intensity and a little more calm. But it's just a character. It's like a different mask that you put on. It doesn't seem to be a genuine change to me. I could do it right now. You know what I mean? Anybody could all of a sudden talk with a little bit more gentle demeanor, and just come at things with an open heart and open mind. It's just acting. You're acting.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
You're playing the character of Jared. You're playing the character of James. I'm playing the character of Cowboy Sundance. You know what I mean? I have a hard time believing the genuineness of people that get like hyper soft.
There's
kind of naturally how they're.
There's different levels to it, right? Because everyone, I don't even know if they know that they're doing it. As soon as they go on camera, a part of them changes. They lose a little bit of their authenticity, but it happens on many levels. Some people, they have a whole nother persona for camera, and then others, I can definitely say that I'm not exactly the way I am, off camera as I am when I'm on camera. Part of it is to, I don't know, maybe you're like, if you're trying to be entertaining, or you're trying to entertain your viewers, you're trying to give something to them that makes them go, ooh, it's where if I just sat here and talked like this. No,
I'm not even talking about entertainment wise. I'm talking about like if you go to a retreat and all of a sudden you're surrounded by the gentlest people you've ever met. You know what I mean? They're literally wearing linen and flowing robes and approaching each other by saying, namaste, namaste. We're all vegan. We barely have the energy to move. Like, there seems to be a little bit of pretension. Like, that's the only thing I'm sure of. There could be people that get transformed and they become like glowing, gentle entities. But I'm not sure of that. But I'm pretty darn sure that there's people faking the funk out there.
Well, maybe all that's even a part of the fake it till you make it. Like, that's fairly common saying, right? Fake it till you make it.
I've done it.
Maybe they view that gentle demeanor, that soft spokenness approach as an ideal that they hold in high value, and they're all just trying to get there.
Yep. Yes, I agree.
So Roland says,
so what's your ideal?
What do you mean?
Losing the need to do anything inauthentic at all. I don't know what that is. The ideal would be peace, but the ideal would be able to have experienced enough to be able to just enjoy when peace is there and be able to understand when that's not what is required here. Like, to just be able to willingly engage in life for exactly what it is. There are times that you are lying if you say it's peaceful. If you're in the midst of something tumultuous, it's it's not pleasurable, you know, but there's something disingenuous to me when people try to flip everything into something that's, you know, some kind of glorious positive. It's like there's some sorrows that happen, you know. It's not even healthy to me if somebody you cared about died and you didn't mourn. Oh, we lost Jared somehow.
No, I'm back. My battery's running low, so I'm probably gonna have to.
You just
scooch out of the screen to get a charger here.
Okay, go get it. I'll go get your charger, and me and Justin will keep going.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. Yeah, no, to be 100...
I really over-dramatized that. It was really close.
It's like, got it back.
I wish I... There we go. Real.
Like people try to avoid feeling sad and stuff like that, and mad and all. And there's got to be a wrong way to do things. But maybe if there was just a way to approach life where you could actually, I don't know, refer back to what I already said. I've been talking for too long. Somebody else say something.
No, I think what you're saying is right. I don't know if anyone can actually reach 100 authenticity. You know, you'd be such a weirdo. I think you'd be ostracized in society if you were literally going around being an image of exactly 100% of what you're feeling.
One of my
sad day today. When you go to
nobody wants to see somebody masturbating 24/7. Nobody wants that.
Okay. Yes, there are people that would want that.
You're right.
Maybe.
There are. No, but I guess I see your point of, you know, if somebody's depressed and other people don't share that depression, that they would avoid that person. But, I mean, there are people suffering that, you know, you should ignore them, you know? Maybe if more people did suffer with others, we would have less suffering in general. Like if people were like, well, it's going to put a damper on my day, so I don't even want to look at that. Maybe if more people did look at it, rather than try to live some kind of like quote-unquote good life, maybe it would reduce suffering, or we would at least have a different collective opinion of what suffering is. To begin with.
Or maybe the suffering would just snowball out of control because everybody would be feeling everybody else's suffering. Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe nature just doles out the right amount of empaths to, you know, keep people not lonely in their sorrows.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of a good,
you know,
interesting.
And then we need a certain amount of people to look the other way and keep things going.
Yeah. Yes. That actually makes. There you go. He solved it. That's lighter than what I said.
And there, thank you everyone for joining us. We did it. It only took us 2 hours, and life is now figured out.
There's a good point, though, in terms of, you know, but that's kind of, you know, you could think of the statement that you just made in terms of, you know, nature doling out responsibilities to people. That almost goes along with a type of thinking that would suggest that, you know, because some people say, like, you don't need to fret so much, man. Sometimes you just gotta look around and realize everything's perfect. Like, and I'm not suggesting that's exactly what you said. I'm not saying that you say everything's perfect. But if things like that are occurring in nature, that the right amount of people are doing things, and that there's a balance to this whole thing, that it does lean more to the side that there's some kind of benevolence behind the scenes. But I mean, it doesn't take into account things that aren't solved, and that, you know, maybe there's something out of whack. You say that maybe nature doles out the appropriate amount of empathetic people, but you might not say that if you were witness to like massive atrocities that you became aware were being ignored by people. You know what I mean?
I'm just throwing out an idea, right? Because often, like, listen, I'm the person that's the empath, so I'd way rather. I don't understand the people that are like, hey, you just got to look on the bright side of life and smile You know, to me that never makes sense, but the world also needs those people. The world needs those people to be cheery, to stay the course, but it also needs people who can recognize the hardship, who can suffer with others to say, hey, whoa, I think you've got to play your part to direct society in the appropriate direction. And you got to, and I guess it would be a sign of maturity to know when to follow somebody else, right? You asked me earlier what kind of stuff you watched on YouTube, and I've been watching a lot of stuff on personality types. And it's just interesting. It's clear to me that people are wired and completely different. It's so hard to understand some different types of people when they don't think it all the way you think. And it's almost like a hardwiring. They just don't think that way. They're way less empathetic. They don't understand why you would ever waste your time with somebody who is suffering. Like, you've got one life to live. You know, you've got what it takes to succeed. Why would you wallow in the mire with those who are perishing?
Yep, I agree. I think it is true that people are literally wired crazily different. I think you can see that represented in people's varying array of like addictions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there'll be one person that eats themselves into morbidly obese, another guy maybe doesn't have an eating problem, but a severe alcoholic, or, you know, or somebody's got a gambling issue. People are wired differently in what comforts them and what drives them, and yeah, I think that's totally valid. James, do you find it easier to do readings on people that you know or you don't know?
Probably on people that I don't know.
I was gonna think that.
Yeah, it's because I don't know. It's personal. There's a personal aspect to it, and yeah, I don't know.
I gotta come up with a better setup next time I'm on this.
Yeah, you need a
my shoulders messed up and I can't move it anywhere. It hurts.
You need to clear out that little section of your house right there. Clear it out, get it all prettied up, and make it look all Jordan Peter-esque.
Yeah, I'll sort my bookshelf out so it looks more impressive.
Get rid of
Justin's.
Get rid of the piggy banks behind you, and something more like a nice statue of I don't know.
Those are heirlooms.
Something intellectual.
Those are heirlooms. The little prince.
Replace those with a globe. A nice spinny globe.
I don't have a spinning globe. I'll have to buy one. I'll have to make the desk a non-foldable table.
Yeah. My computer here is literally sitting on a foldable table. It's a good thing you can't see my desk.
Yeah, it's a good thing you can't see anything else in the room I'm
in. Yeah. So when I do move, my plan is to make a really cool setup. Once I didn't want to do it while I was still here because I knew it was going to be a fast transition. Once I get out of here, I'm going to set up a really nice room.
So I got a question.
Yep.
Do you think you're limiting yourself by streaming this in the tarot reading community?
No, because I explained to you before the situation. I think in order to, you have to get yourself Justin's dying of heat. In order to open a window.
I'm tired. Dude, you saw that meal I was eating.
Turn on a fan.
What a nap. I might be able to get a fan actually.
If I just, normally this would probably go under the just chatting section, but they don't sort the just chatting section. There's not like many types of conversation. It's like, that's all there is. I'd have to look at it again. I might be able to find a better thing to do.
Yeah, but you might, I mean, I feel bad for any viewers that might tune in and we're not talking about tarot readings at all.
You don't need to feel bad.
It's like, I mean, maybe you're alienating a potential. Maybe you got to save tarot reading day for Sundays, and
we're good.
And,
It's once I build up once I build up a followership, like if I got it to 1,000 followers, then
Where are we at now?
124.
Well, that's impressive. That's better than I thought.
What you should do, James, is title the video "Chick Swimming in a Little Pool" in a bikini.
Totally
And then people chime in and we're just talking about that.
Oh, this is like it. Welcome, other viewer to the channel. Welcome. Don't be shy. You can say hi. I am doing tarot readings, just speed readings. So if you want one, let me know. Roland speaks.
Otherwise, we're just talking about life.
Yeah, we're just talking about stuff in between readings. What were we just talking about? Oh, we were talking about the screen. I can't even remember.
We were talking about how much Justin was sweating.
Yeah.
And that he needs to invest in a fan.
And eat more healthy.
Shed some LBs and get a fan.
Justin, you gotta get on the bean diet. Just eat beans for a week and you'll feel fantastic. Don't I look like I feel good?
I don't think that's going to solve your problem. I think you need to go with the pepperoni steak.
And a glass of milk. Pepperoni and milk. What a weird combo. So besides the gym, what else do you do? Are you reading it all again? You said you were...
I've got a lot of books I'd like to read. No, I haven't had the time to read. My spare time has been taken up with the gym, and when I need to just decompress and not do anything, I watch YouTube videos.
The gym looks like it's working, Jared. You look definitely like you've maybe lost some weight. You got some shoulder definition going on. It's good.
Yeah, it's been good so far. It's been about three months now, I think.
Are you eating differently at all?
Yeah, I've been eating a lot more. Yeah, so I've cut out a lot of sugar. Not eliminated it. And the last 2 weeks have been, I cut out coffee, but in the last 2 weeks I've actually consumed probably a coffee every day just because I've been working so much and it's been just a little boost of energy in the morning. So I've been drinking coffee the last 2 weeks, but I'm hoping to work a little less this coming week. When I don't have to work late, then I've got more time to make a healthier lunch, like lunches, a little more meal prep. I've come to realize that prioritizing sleep over everything is the most important.
Oh, yeah.
One, it just helps you make better decisions. That's the one thing I've noticed.
I find coffee for me is like one of the hardest. If I even miss a coffee once in a day, I have a headache by 5 o'clock at night. But I only drink one coffee a day. So
yeah, there's nothing wrong with coffee. There's nothing wrong with coffee. Like I'm not poo-pooing coffee. I just find coffee's like the gateway into my poor eating habits. Like for some people, maybe marijuana is the gateway into the gateway drug into other drugs. For me, coffee is the gateway into
sugar.
Eating a sugary snack. Or
how do you take your coffee? Is it double?
I don't take my coffee black by any means. Yeah. And in fact, there's no coffee shops by my work except for Starbucks, so I have a venti white chocolate mocha with whip. So it's less of a coffee and more of a dessert.
Yeah.
Do you have cannabis shops around where you live?
Yep.
You ever gone in?
Never. I don't know why.
You never gone in?
After talking to you guys, I definitely would be curious, but
I mean, I don't smoke a ton of cannabis or anything. I was just curious because you mentioned it a couple of seconds ago. Like, you know what I mean? How you're saying it's a thing. I was just curious if you'd given it a try yet, and what the taboos and whatever were like out there in Calgary around.
No, I'm sure it's the same everywhere. I mean, listen, a lot of people smoke pot. I don't think it's everybody, but I think there's a sizable portion. You know, a not insignificant portion of the population consumes, you know, marijuana in some form or another. For me, I have nothing against it. There's nothing, but I've never tried it. I've never even smoked a joint. Like, I don't know anything about it. I've just never been drawn to it. But I mean, after talking to you guys, not in this live stream here, but, you know, outside, you know, because we're brothers, you know, conversations we've had, you know, I've definitely been curious. It's not a priority. Like, it's not something I've ever really been drawn to, so I never really think about it.
Actually, it's an interesting thing that people, and it's not like it's totally normal for people to think this, because this is how it usually works out, is that people start off with something like cannabis in terms of like psychotropic or psychedelic type drugs. Like, I wonder what would happen if you had somebody that instead of maybe their first experience of something like that being something like cannabis, it being something like psilocybin instead, like mushrooms.
Yeah.
They may have a different, because cannabis isn't everybody's cup of tea the way it feels, and you know, and sometimes if your opinion of plant medicines is that it'll probably be something a little bit like weed, and then you try something like mushrooms, and it's so different, and it weirds you out. I wonder if there's something to be said about this idea that, like, well, who says that that's what your first experience of a psychedelic should be? You know, like, people assume it's light. You know, maybe it would be more intelligent to start with something like psilocybin. What do you think, James?
In terms of the psych, I don't have much experience with it, but I would say that weed is definitely like a good starter. And the thing is with weed is that you can, now with all the stuff that's out there, you can just gauge it. You can just have like a tiny little bead, like there, like one puff, sit with it, see how it resonates with you, and then if you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. And if you find something, okay, I'm gonna push it and do a little bit more this time, you know, you can do a little bit more, and it all depends on also what you want to do. Weed's funny because it's, for some people, they don't like doing it around other people. Some people like smoking weed when they're by themselves. So that's like me, I like doing it like by myself at home. I don't like doing it in public settings. I get too paranoid. So
like, I'm not drawn to, like, I don't even know what the benefits are. I hear it's relaxed.
It can be, but it can also be not relaxing.
Yeah, I'm not drawn into any weird psychological experiences. For me, it's not really a draw. Like, if it can help me sleep, if it can help me relax, I'm drawn to those kind of benefits. No, I'm not against having you know, whatever. I don't even know what happens when you get high. I don't know. That's not my world.
What do you think happens when you imagine what you can't imagine to be the case, where maybe you have some perception distortions and stuff like that? What is your?
Well, see, I don't know. Like people always say, "Oh, I got high." To me, high just means, if I was to interpret that, it would sound like it would be interpreted as like a light feeling. Not necessarily as, you know, some weird psychological experience. It would, but I don't know. You said it's a little hallucinogenic.
No,
you might get a little bit of closed eye visual if you close your eyes and kind of like settle into it.
If you eat it or not, I've eaten it before and been, how do I say it, out of my element, and I guess you couldn't really classify it as hallucinating, but almost like a pseudo hallucination. Like your perception, my perception was so distorted that I might as well have been hallucinating, because my field of vision was not, even with my eyes open, was not. I wasn't perceiving reality the way I normally would. So it's you know, it's almost like, you know, it was almost like hallucinating. That's cannabis that I'm talking about, and that was from me. You know?
I think weed, like on high doses, it can open you up to fields of thought or ways of thinking that you may not have been open to thinking. Like, and it may push you to think in certain ways of thinking that you may not have, thought you could think.
Not everybody would agree with these assessments. I mean, I know people that are like, I don't know what you're talking about. All it does
it treats everyone different, I guess.
But I agree with James. I think it can. Sometimes it's like, it's almost like alien ways of thinking about things. Like, like that never would have dawned on me to think of that in this way.
Yeah. And hyper aware of the subtle things in life. Like, your wife, like, say you smoke some and your wife might be like, Jared, it's time for bed. You might be thinking, like, you might look into it deeper than you've ever thought you would look into, like, why is she telling me I'm in a routine. This happens every night. We've fallen into a routine that always, like, you know what I'm talking about, Justin? I'm just like, hyper analyzation of what you would normally never think twice about. It's
like a thought bridge. It's like a branch of thought breaks out, and then you're almost distracted by, you're distracted by the route your thoughts have now taken down some rabbit hole of thinking.
Yeah.
People have all kinds of weird descriptors. Some guy on a chat thing the other day said, he said, you want to know what it's like? Your soul moves before your body moves. And there was a bunch of people in the thing, in the chat stream that were like, I know exactly what you mean by that. And I didn't really know what he meant by, it's like your soul moves before your body moves. But a bunch of people, to them, that resonated with them,
Hey, sorry to interrupt. What time is it?
It is 7 o'clock our time, which means it's 5 o'clock your time.
Yeah, I probably gotta go.
All right.
I just haven't been home a lot this week, so
I get
I
it.
don't want to take up my family's time. So
all right. So
I love talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up. I want to just thank everyone first for watching the show. If you like the show, don't forget to hit the subscribe, the like, the share, all that jazz. Thank everyone for coming out, and until next time.
Stay spiritual.
Stay spiritual.
Stay spiritual. All right, we're good.